Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. Okay, this episode is going to be all over the place. I already know it, and I might get choked up, but it's just the nature of the news that happened or that I got today. So, woke up today, normal day, and started doing my thing. Went to the gym, came home from the gym. I got food, worked on stuff for Mina, Dawson, and Trey. Everything was great. I was talking to Dawson. I sent him a big, long voice note, and then as soon as I finished that voice note, I get a call from my dad. He says, "Hey, Bryson, how's it going?" And I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he goes, "Hey, are you home?" And he was crying. And I was like, yeah, what's up? And he, in so many words and, through a lot of tears, just said, "Hey, my dad is on his way out. So it would be awesome if you could meet me at the assisted living to say goodbye." And he said that, bawling his eyes out. All due respect to him, but he was just bawling. To my definition, just sobbing. There we go, sobbing, not bawling, sobbing. And I just froze, and I thought, holy shit, this is quite a wrench thrown into everything. And I don't mean that in a, wow, so inconvenient, but just like, wow, I did not expect to get a call like that. And the thing that was just the hardest was just to hear my dad cry. I never, ever talk about my dad on the show. And there's a few reasons why I don't share anything. I don't feel like it's something that I should. But after today, I do feel fine talking about certain things. So I'm going to talk about that. But I hated hearing him that sad. So I essentially dropped what I was doing, got dressed, and changed out of gym shorts and put some normal shorts on. And I drove to the assisted living. It was about 20 minutes south of me. When he called me, he was leaving work and going home to his family to pick up his kids, my half siblings and my stepmom. And so I beat him there. And when he showed up, I gave a big hug and we walked in, checked in, whatever. And then we went and saw my grandpa. So it's on my dad's side. It's my grandpa, biological, straight up, blood, straight like grandpa. And I just, for context, I don't remember the last time I've seen him. Not that like it was decades ago. It's probably like 3 or 4 years ago. And the conversation was probably so brief. I don't know, 5 years ago, maybe. And we walk into his room and he's shaking. He's breathing. I don't know what the right word would be, but it sounded like so his mouth was wide open. He was very pale and he was breathing through his mouth, I assume. And it sounded like bubbles coming from a steel pipe. And I know that's oddly specific, but that is just, it didn't sound like bubbles like boiling water. It didn't sound like bubbles coming from a plastic pipe because that would make a different noise. It was coming from a steel pipe. That's the sound that I heard. And so to just not see someone for years and then to see them like that, it was very uncomfortable. And so we walk in and my dad's keeping his cool. Stepmom's keeping her cool. My siblings, my sister was just crying. And my younger brother on my dad's side was, coping with it in his own way. And he was just kind of unfazed, which, every kid copes their own way. But the thing that broke me was when my dad walked up to my grandpa laying there, and he just said, "Dad," and oh, fuck, dude, it just got me. And he said, "Hey, open your eyes. It's me, Dad. Come on," and I was like, holy shit, this is tough. And I don't really want to make this whole episode about this, but it was very hard to see my dad go through that. So, of course, that's my grandpa on my dad's side, and of course, that's horrible. But we don't have a relationship. I don't remember the last time I talked to him. I don't remember the last time I saw him. All that being said, he, like my dad, made my childhood. He made a lot of great memories for me. When I was younger, I'd wake up in the morning and he was always up early as hell going for his morning drives. And he would build Lincoln log houses, but hide a dollar bill or a $5 bill, sometimes a $20 bill inside the Lincoln log house. And so when I would, move the roof or move the little horse gate or whatever, I would see that there is a $5 bill. And at the time, I was super into Yu-Gi-Oh! So I just saw the dollars and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, that's some Yu-Gi-Oh! Right there. Didn't say fuck yeah, but, and just incredible memories. There was one time so my dad made a little golf course in our backyard, and I hit a hole in one in front of him and his friend. And just great memories. And, and then, I guess life happens and you just kind of drift away, and I don't know. It's a very interesting situation. And so I say all that because, yes, this is a horrible situation, but I was more heartbroken and more sad over the fact that my dad was losing his dad, and hearing the wobble in his voice trying to be strong in front of his family while watching his dad just wither away. That is what broke me. And I felt a sense of, being tough and being an example, because I've got my little sister bawling, got my dad choked up, and what am I supposed to do? Just sob with, And so it was tough for me to sit there and watch my dad just almost like try to make a deal with God to not take his dad, And he, Grandpa was responsive and he was all right. I mean, hold on. He was responsive to a point. He didn't say a single word, didn't nothing. He was on a lot of drugs, from what the doctors gave him, or from whoever the fuck the people gave him. And the reason why he has only so much longer to live is because he, according to the people, is not swallowing his pills and medicine anymore. He's not drinking water, and he's not eating food, and he also has pneumonia. And he's also, I think before this, he was also already in declining health. And so they said, about, less than 48 hours. So I'm getting texts from my dad, about 30 minutes ago, what they are doing. And he seems like he's, doing his thing. But I was able to, so it's a very long story, not particularly, but I guess to explain why this is normal. During all of this, I guess I was just holding my keys. Dad saw the keys and he said, what's this? And I was like, I got a new car. And he's like, Tesla? And I was like, yeah. And then all of a sudden it was all about my car and nothing to do with his dad. And I don't say that in we got so distracted he forgot. It was just more like, hell yes, something to get my mind off of this. So we went and looked at my car, which is cool. Little sister apparently is a Tesla fanatic. So for her to see the car up close, she was freaking out. I let her hold the keys. She walked up to the car. The car unlocked itself, door handle opened, whatever, and she was freaking out. It was so cool. I let her sit in the driver's seat, and she was able to push some buttons and activate the fart noises and play some games, and it was just, I mean, selfishly, it was cool as fuck for me because I'm like, dude, I literally have envisioned doing this exact thing with a Lambo or a McLaren or something, but nonetheless, it was just something that I have envisioned doing for the younger generation to inspire them to want to work harder, to give them that feel that, you know, whatever. Because I've never sat in a Lamborghini before. I rarely ever see them. I've never seen one up close. And so me being a 28-year-old adult in this world, not having been that close to a Lambo or sat in one, that is, you know, and to give an opportunity. I mean, it's a Tesla, but everybody's got their own dream car. If that happens to be hers, then I just gave her that opportunity. And if you know, I like to tie that into what I'm doing. I'm working at a certain level that provides experiences for others that I don't know how to finish that, but the work that I am putting in and the hours and the effort create experiences for others that I still have not gotten. And I think that's a pretty beautiful thing. And I feel very proud of that. But anyway, before he saw the keys and we went outside, I was like, Dad, no, I'm sorry. This was after he saw the keys. I said, Dad, do I need to say goodbye? And he just looked at me and I was like, I know that's a tough question. But, and he, you know, started laughing because what the fuck else is he supposed to do? And I was like, well, hold on. So I walked over and I just picked up his hand and I said, hey, I love you, Grandpa. And just held his hand for, I don't know, felt like 5 minutes, but it was probably like 20 seconds. And there was a handful of people in the room. The room was tiny. The whole place was a fucking mess, which makes you feel 10 times worse about the whole situation. But what do you do? And I was just, just holding his hand and just thinking about all the memories. And I just said, love you. And then my dad and I left. And that's when the whole car thing started. And yeah, it was just very tough to see my dad. So sad. And this is a big step for me. And what I looked at my dad, I said, hey, Dad, listen, this is really tough for me to say, so just hear me out here. I hate that it took something like this for me to get the balls to even say this, but I don't want this to be you and me in the future, because my dad hadn't seen him in over a year. He's never even been to the assisted living place, and I don't say that to throw him under the bus, because I'm no better. I don't remember the last time I saw him, but I say that to, illustrate the point that I don't want that to be him and I. And so I said, Dad, we've just kind of grown apart. We're just on different chapters. I'm doing my thing. You're doing yours. I know you're putting in a lot of effort. I'm not, but I just want you to know that I love you. And I want to see you. I want to go to lunch. I don't want this to be us. And he was very receptive to that. He started crying. I started crying. We gave a big bear hug. And in the nature of him and I, we just got distracted and started talking about other shit. But I feel like that was a good stepping stone for me, for us, because I just have not felt like I've had a dad for the greater portion of my life. And it only makes me sad to think that I haven't had that. I don't think about this hardly ever, but when I do, I just feel sad. And I feel like perhaps I would be a much better man if I had a father. And even saying that out loud, it makes you feel like shit, because I do have a father and he's alive and well. And I saw him and hugged him today. And I think the distinction there is that I just don't feel like I have a father figure. He's my dad, but I just haven't felt like I've had a father figure. And so I've never shared anything like that, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have. I don't know. I don't remember. on this podcast because I wanted to make sure that if he were to hear this, he would have heard it from me first. And because for a moment there, he was listening to the show. And either way, out of respect, I'm not going to. So after having shared that with him and talked to him about that very briefly, it's just a stepping stone. I feel comfortable to say that now. And that could be a whole other show, but I just, I'm not going to share details, but when I was like 12, 13, we made the decision to stop visitation with my dad. He didn't do anything crazy or try to hurt me. Like there's nothing crazy that happened. It was better at the time that we just stopped visitation. And I think it was a very short time period, but my dad wanted to make sure that I was okay. And if that meant that no more visitation, that was cool. And, thinking back to that, I was just thinking back to that now. I guess that's love. He loved me so much that he wanted me to not see him if it made me happy. And, I don't know. So, ever since then, I just really haven't been involved. We haven't been involved with one another. And, the thing that's kept on is, birthdays and holidays. Every Christmas I'll go over there. We'll play Monopoly. It's our tradition. For the record, I always beat his ass. And on birthdays, we'll go to lunch, But the last 2 or 3 years, Christmas has been hit and miss. My birthday, not even that. I think I saw him in 2023. I think that's the last time I saw him. And I just hate that thought, dude. It's 2025. It's July 28th, 2025. Last time I saw him was 2023. So a horrible thought, dude. And so, yeah, I just haven't felt like I've had a father figure. My mom married my former stepdad, and I'm not going to share anything. But he is not any example of anything. And then my current stepdad is, well, we'll just no comment for the time being. So it's just been tough, and it would be very easy for me to play the poor me victim card. I've never had I don't want to say the word never, but don't have a dad, don't have a father figure, don't have that example, don't have a leader it would be very easy for me to play that card. And truthfully, I feel like sometimes I do, but I don't ever think about it that often, truthfully. And when I do, I do get sad because part of me is like, I feel like he almost gave up on, oh no. All right, guys. Well, got a text from my dad. Okay, cool. I thought for sure it was going to be, he says, I'm staying the night. Okay. I'm glad someone's going to be with him. That's very nice. Anyway, I thought for sure I was going to get a heartbreaking text right there. 10:43 right now. Getting a text from my dad. Oh, boy. See, I just got a text from my dad. He says, love you, son. You make me proud. See, that's the kind of stuff that I need to hear, dude. God damn, bro. Anyway, like I was saying, sometimes I feel like he gave up on his goals and his dreams. But maybe he just had smaller goals and smaller dreams. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like I was almost given up on. Kind of. That's not what I meant to say. I feel like he gave up on himself. And I just feel like that's not a good example. It's not what a leader does. It's not what a father does. And I think that's why I have the hardest time. Is because, I don't know. I just, I'm going to segue out of this. I don't know. But, yeah. So all that happened. And that just was very unexpected and So I just feel good knowing that I was able to, quote, say goodbye. But I just worry for my dad because I think he's going to be the one that has to handle all the stuff. He's got 4 older brothers, and I don't think any of them give a fuck. I think a couple do. I think one does. One for sure does. I think the rest, I don't know. And I feel so bad. And I almost, I feel a sense of obligation to handle this, or not to handle this, but to assist my dad in all of this because I'm the oldest son. I don't think I'm the oldest grandson on this side, but I am my dad's oldest son. If my dad is taking care of this, then I should absolutely help. And truthfully, for documentation purposes, selfishly, trying to build a business here. Can't be taking every goddamn 3 days off to go and do some shit. And I want to share that sounds horrible for documentation purposes because that's what I'm thinking, that's what I'm feeling, and that's the kind of shit that I wish I would have heard from people that I look up to, but in the past, because it makes them seem much more human to have these thoughts. They're not perfect, whatever. So anyway, that's that. So I'm going to segue out of. You know what? I'm going to share one more thing, and this is just me. So I shared this a while ago, but it's it's called API, Assume Positive Intent. I heard it from Dan Martell first, but the concept I probably heard a while ago, and all it is just a frame of mind to just assume positive intent when anybody does anything, so that way you're not kind of feeding into the negativity. So if somebody cuts you off in traffic, you should just assume that they are late for their kid's soccer practice, or they are going to the hospital to see, maybe their grandpa, because they just got a call that grandpa is about to pass away. Maybe they didn't see you. Maybe they gave an apology wave, whatever, rather than, oh, this fucking asshole cut me off. What a piece of shit. Just assume positive intent. And it is difficult to do, but being aware of it the last month or two, I feel like I'm actually pretty good at it. Oh, probably annoyingly good at it, because when other people say, oh, what the fuck, this guy, I feel like my default is now like, oh, I hope he's all right. I hope everything's all right. I hope he's okay. And I know for somebody who might be just wanting to live in oh, this guy fucked me over, he's a piece of shit, what a cocksucker or whatever, it might be more desirable to live in that anger because it feels better than, oh yeah, maybe he's having a shit day, I'm in the wrong. So it is, I feel like when I say I'm annoyingly good at it, it's just like maybe I don't know. But anyway, as a perfect example today of, actually, I'm not really sure how that ties into what I'm about to say, but what I'm about to say is just an observation of how people do not do that. So I was driving home from seeing my grandpa and my dad. I took a lot of back roads because I was just kind of thinking. And truthfully speaking, I was going 4 under the speed limit. I was going 36 in a 40. And it's an interesting area where I was at. It was like a neighborhood, but it was a main road in a neighborhood. So it was, I don't know, it was weird. But there was this person, and it was a young lady, a young woman. I was behind me driving some beater, probably trying to, I don't know, go home after work. I don't know. And I look up because I was changing a song on Spotify on my car because I can do that now. I'm fucking sick. I look up and this girl is just riding my ass. And she is putting her hands in the air, shaking her head, rolling her eyes, throwing her head back. And I was like, oh my fuck, she's freaking out because I'm going slow. But I was like, wait. The light is red in front of me because I was, 200 feet away from the red light. And it's a red fucking light. So if I go 100 miles an hour or if I go 10, it's still red. We still have to stop. And that will forever be my stance on red lights. If it's red and it's going to stay red, the speed at which I approach the red light could be 10 to 54. Doesn't matter, whatever. 10 to 100. We still have to stop. So almost it would be better to go as slow as possible so that way you don't have to stop at all. I don't know. It's a whole different thing. But it's red, and then I need to turn right. So I flip on my blinker to turn right. I look in my rear view mirror, and this lady's like freaking the fuck out. She throws her hands up in the air, shakes her head, and I can see her mouth moving like she's pissed off. And I'm like, God damn, dude. So what I did, and felt cool for me, was we both turned and this person's on my ass. And because my car is now fast, I just fucking launched that bitch down the road. I think the speed limit on this road was 45. And I fucking left her ass in the dust. And because I was turning left, I put my blinker on, turned left. As I did that, it turned yellow. But because I was so far ahead of this lady, it turned red for her. And so she had to stop as I kept going. And I'm like, why I'm even saying all of this is because this lady was just having a heyday over me going 4 miles slower than the speed limit. And like, objectively, I guess that's wrong. However, it's a lot better than going 10 under, 20 under, or whatever. Now, I hate when people go slow, especially now having this car. I get it. But in my defense, the light was red. And so whatever, you can make any judgments. I don't give a fuck. That's the situation. This lady was freaking the fuck. And I say freaking out, but like she was throwing her hands up in the air. She was throwing her head back. You can see her like yelling, putting her hand up, doing the underhand fingers pointing out the window bullshit, or towards the driver's side or the whatever. And I'm like, you're so angry at such a trivial thing that just truthfully doesn't matter at all. And I'm like, internal monologue. I'm like, there are so many things to be more angry about than somebody going slow as fuck on the road. Now, again, my bad. However, like in the words of Dean Graziosi, like it's so unfortunate that you don't have bigger problems. I think that's what he said. He's got an interesting take. I don't know if you guys know who Dean Graziosi is, but he's got an interesting take on when somebody fucks up your order at a restaurant. And I don't necessarily agree with this, but the mindset, the principle behind it, 100%. So I just saw a thumbnail for something that's funny. I'm going to save that for later. That's for Crystalia. Holy shit, looks funny. Okay. Dean, just like that, I'm off topic. Dean Graziosi, Ed Milet, order steak. Millionaire mindset. Okay, right here. So, again, I don't necessarily, like if this happened to me, I can't say that I would just be silent, but truthfully, it's just not a big deal. All good. So this is what it is. If I order medium rare steak at a restaurant, and they bring me well-done chicken, I just eat it. So do I. Who gives a shit? So do I. I'm the same way. Like, somebody cuts me off in traffic and then flips me off. I'm like, wow, they need bigger problems. Yeah. Right there. Traffic is bugging you that much, you'll never be successful, so know that. If you're annoyed because a friend doesn't ask you to go to the mall, or someone cut you off in traffic, or you think a friend offended you, or you think a coworker's being a little rude, then you're screwed because you're worried about the wrong things. Spend that energy on solving big problems and you accomplish big things. This is massively valuable for people to hear. If I ordered steak and I got chicken, I'd say, yo, I ordered steak though. Like I would. But the whole, if I did this, but I got this, or if something happened in this house, like who gives a shit? It's all good. And I think that I have done a pretty good job. I'm doing better at when shit goes wrong. It's just like, dude, it is what the fuck it is. This is just what I think. So I'm just going to say it. We could be in a mall. There could be a shooting. We could be victims of the shooting. We could be in one of these cities that's flooding. We could be in a third world country with no shoes, just shitty living circumstances, no clean water. How the fuck can we complain? I don't know. Me driving the car, like my Tesla right now, down a road, hauling ass, having a good time. I've got shoes on. I've got a phone. I can call anybody in the world. I can reach anybody that I want. I can take photos. I got clothes. How the fuck do I complain about someone cutting me off? Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I've never complained. But But if somebody does, dude, like, it is annoying. Like, straight up it is. But I think just training yourself to just be like, you know what? They are having a shit day and they need to get to the hospital. Or their kid is, they are about to miss something that their kid is involved in and it means the world and they don't want to miss it. Or maybe they got a shit, dude. Who knows? But just assuming positive intent, I think that's something that we should all do. And to Dean's point here, if you order steak but you get chicken, not a big deal, just fucking eat it. The point there is that rather than making this error a massive ordeal or a big problem or something that you fuss about and focus your energy on, just accept that it was a mistake or whatever on whoever's behalf and just keep moving on. And then to his point again, if that's the problem that you're focusing all your energy on, you probably need bigger problems in life. Because if that's what is really getting you riled up, like, you're fucked. And I think that's what he's saying. I like how he says, who gives a shit? Because it's just, you can feel it.
Order medium rare steak at a restaurant and they bring me well done chicken. I just eat it.
So do I.
Who gives a shit?
And people dislike that because it's like, oh, I asked for one thing, they didn't give it to me, therefore they're in the wrong. I'm in the right. Like, again, who gives a shit, bro? So I don't know. I think that's I love that take so much. Now, again, if I ordered steak and they brought me chicken, I'd say, hey, I ordered steak. I wouldn't freak the fuck out. I would just say, oh, yo, does this look like steak though? So anyway, I think that's a very important take. And so this lady following me was freaking the fuck out, and that's just kind of what's playing through my head. I'm like, you are so upset about this, and I don't know. It's so, like, I'm invested in watching her freak out because I'm like, how could you be so upset? And so I don't know. I feel like I have to say this based on what I just said, but like, truthfully, this is what I was thinking, so I'm just gonna say it. Whatever. Like, my first thought was like, you're having a shit day. It's all good. Having a horrible day, taking it out on somebody. Maybe you just got fired. I don't know. I didn't think that. I was just like, wow, this person's having a shitty day. That sucks. That's what I thought. But anyway, and that actually happened again with one person, but she just kind of put her hand up in the air. Like, what the fuck, dude? Here's the thing. Here's one thing about driving that I have noticed. Let's say that you are merging. You're on it, whether it's a freeway or it's a highway, or whatever, you're merging onto a road and there's multiple lanes in that road. It's so interesting to me that if you don't immediately get into the correct lane that you need to be in, the second that you merge onto that new road, you're an asshole if you then decide that you do need to get over half a second later, because people behind you will instantly make that lane switch and they'll try to speed around you, and always it's a red light. So that's so funny to me. Like, the speeding to a red light, that's interesting. Like, take away the assume positive intent, like you're speeding to stop. Stupid motherfucker. All good, but it's all good. So they will speed around me. Well, they'll get over, flip their blinker on. But it's like, hey, dude, I also need to get over. So I'm going to flip my blinker on and get over. But because they have already like pushed the gas, they're trying to go around me. And so I'm the asshole because they are trying to go around me when you didn't even give me a chance to. Fuck all that, bro. When I merge, I truthfully let everybody in front of me merge first so that I know where I need to be. Or now that I drive a Tesla, I just fucking launch by them, and that's just so much fun. Not good for the car, not good for, I get it. Fun as fuck, though. It makes my heart beat so fast when I do it, too. And it's a good feeling. So, anyway, that is one thing that I noticed today. So, anyway, there's that. My little rant. There's a little story on Grandpa. There's a little on my dad. The other thing that I did today, and this was truthfully just because I'm just kind of in a weird headspace, just given the fact of what happened today. And honestly, there's a little procrastination in there as well, but there's just a lot that I need to do. And I felt like I had, I don't know, call it writer's block. I don't know. But when I moved into this current townhome that I'm living in, I made so it's a 2-bedroom townhome, 2.5 bath, and the top. So how it works is you park in the garage and you walk in. There's a little, the 3x5 square area where you walk in the front door and the garage door, and then you go up, 15 stairs, and then you have the kitchen and the living room and the laundry room, and then you go up another 15 stairs, and then there's a bedroom, the hallway, and then the other bedroom. I put all my office stuff in the big bedroom. It's a 2-bedroom, and there's definitely a big master bedroom, whatever. And I put my office in that because I was like, I don't give a fuck about I want all of the space for my office. That's what I want. And so that's what I did. And it's been that way since May of 2024. And again, it is July of 2025 right now. And it's just been that way. So the small bedroom was for my bed, and that was it. I only had a bed in here. And in the office, I had everything. So the desks, the chairs, the whiteboard, the shelves, the books, all that stuff. Because I spend all my day in the office, not my bedroom. And I don't want to put anything combined. I don't want to sleep where I work. I don't want to work where I sleep. It's something I think has been very, very good for me long term, because now I can just go lay down on my bed. And it's different because I sleep on my bed. This air mattress that I have in here is more so like a couch for me. So it's like I sit down and I kind of just think. I never really sleep here. If I do, it's an accidental nap. But anyway, I moved everything. I moved my bed. I just switched rooms, essentially. Moved a couple things, left some other things there. I bought a corner desk a few months ago. It's ass, so I'm not going to use it. Didn't bring it into this smaller room. I don't even think it would have fit in here. It's a smaller room for sure. And I brought my whiteboard in here, set it up so the whiteboard is directly behind me. So that's pretty cool. So now that I have a whiteboard easily accessible to use, rather than having to get up, walk around the desk and use it and blah, 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 it is now right behind me. And I'm very pumped about that. So I think when I get on Zoom calls now, I'm going to have to use the background effect so that nobody can see all my evil plans and all that shit. And then I move my desk here. It's against the wall. And the air mattress is still here. Got my love sack in here. And the whiteboard is actually blocking the window. So if I want to open the blinds, it's going to be a pain in the ass. But if I want to open the window entirely, it's going to be simple. But the idea is that I don't let the light distract me, because when the light hits the screen, it's just so fucking annoying, because then you can't see, because then there's a glare. And yeah, in my bedroom, I actually put up my curtains. I bought some curtains a while ago, and I was like, I don't want to fuck up the wall. Here's another thing. So I don't want to fuck up the wall, because that means it's more shit I have to do when it comes time to move out. And I could just leave it, but I want my security deposit back. I want, that's what you pay the deposit, right? And I was like, no, I don't want to screw up the wall. So I got this adhesive stuff and put up these curtains. They ended up falling down, whatever. I didn't put it on right. And so I haven't been using the curtains. So what I decided today was, fuck it. I don't care. I don't care anymore, because the thought process is, okay, the security deposit I think was like $300. Will that be life-changing if I don't get it back? And right now, in my current stage of life, that is absolutely not. So I was like, dude, fuck it. If I just don't get it back, I don't give a fuck. I just want to have my shit and have it be how I want it. So I hung up the curtains, put like 6 holes in the wall, fucked up. I don't care, dude. But now the curtain is holding up, and it is nailed into the wall rather than the adhesive. And I've got curtains now, and my room is pitch black, and I'm going to sleep in that room. And that's exciting, because I've heard nothing but the greatest of benefits that come from sleeping in a pitch black, pitch dark, pitch black, whatever, room. And not to mention that gets better airflow, so it's going to be cooler. So I think for sleeping, it's going to be a level up for me. I don't know how much better, like if we're talking percentage increase of quality sleep, I don't know. But I think that it is a good investment to do that, if only for the next 2 months, because I'm only here for 2 more months and I'm out of here. And Lexi and I are moving in. So I think episode 710-ish, we will be in a new house, which is pretty exciting. So my lease actually doesn't end for another 3 months, but hers ends in 2 months. So we I think because I'm in a better spot financially, it's fine. Like, it's okay for me to just kind of eat a month. And I don't say that to like be a cocky asshole. And I hope it's never taken that way, because this show is just to be documentation and to share my thoughts and whatever. But, just the way that I perceive certain things and the way that I am now spending money is much different than, I guess, not having a lot of money. And I guess what I mean is, like, all of a sudden I don't care about a $300 deposit being received because I value having my curtains up and using them and not feeling like I bought shit, can't use it, blah, 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 more than I value the $300. I also heard a very interesting take, or not interesting. It's a very eye-opening. And I don't think people like to hear this because it just calls people out. So if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. But there's a guy, and he talks about Costco gas, and he says, look at all the people lining up to go get gas at Costco. You know, if it's 50 cents less per gallon or whatever. And people will wait in line for, you know, a half hour to get gas to save the 50 cents per gallon, because it is cheaper gas. So therefore it's a better deal. Gas is expensive. We all know that. But if you wait a half hour and you save the 50 cents a gallon, and let's just say it's a 15-gallon tank, that's $7.50 that you would be saving. So you are valuing your time right there at $15 an hour. Because if you're waiting for 30 minutes, let me see if I can find it. Valuing your time, Costco gas. People don't like hearing it, dude. Where is it? Oh, it's this one. Okay, listen. So I just don't like the term brokies coming from there's a lot about this I don't agree with, but again, the principle, 100%.
If you wait in line at Costco gas, you're a brokey. Go there on a Saturday.
You're not a brokey. I want to make it clear. I don't think that you're a brokey if you go there to save money. It's just the value that you place on your time is what I'm trying to get at.
Saturday, you'll see a 30-minute line for Costco gas. Everyone's lined up.
Hold on.
Go there on a Saturday, you'll see a 30-minute line for Costco gas. Everyone's lined up. To what? Save $3? You're going to sit in a 30-minute line to save $3? You are now officially valuing your time. And we do the math. That's $6 an hour. You are valuing your time below minimum wage. Minimum wage in California is $15 an hour. And you're saying you value your time at $6 an hour? A lot of those people have kids in the backseat. And so they're teaching their kids the value of their time. $6 an hour? People that sit in Costco line gas are brokies. If you wait in...
yeah, fuck that last sentence. Kind of dickish, but... Dude, how true is that, though? I mean, like, I'm guilty of this stuff. I mean, not with gas anymore. But no, dude, that's true, though. That's exactly what that is. If you spend an hour clipping coupons, and those coupons save you $10... You just value your time at $10 an hour. If you wait in line at Costco, and in this example, it saves you $3, you're valuing your time at $6 an hour. And it's just a perspective shift for sure. And so I share that because I feel like that's kind of the approach that I've had with other things. I don't really give a fuck about the $300 deposit. I want it. Like, give me my money back 100%. But I don't want to have to sit here and grab the paste and grab the paint and go over the hole and do the thing and all that shit and smooth it out. I don't have to worry about that. And that might not take me, even if it takes me 3 hours, I guess I am valuing my time at $100 an hour if that's the example. But I don't give a fuck, dude, because I'm not going to just do that. I'm going to have to do like all these little smudges on the wall. I have to clean those up. There's a couple dents that I've had from just like moving furniture and shit. I've actually got one right here from when the curtain fell the first time, put a nice big black gash. And then when I threw the comb, I don't know what episode that was. I threw the comb, put a big hole in the wall. There's that. I got holes in the wall from the nails. It's in the garage. I don't want to have to do fuck all that. If it's somebody else, you got it. You know, like here's my money, you know? And that's not, I don't ever want that to come across as like, oh, he's got money. I don't have money, bro. I have more than I have. But it's just not, I just don't, I'm careful of what I'm saying. I don't want it to be perceived the wrong way. But it's just like, it's just not worth my time, dude. And I mean that in the literal sense. Like, it's not worth my time. I don't have proof yet that this is true and this can happen. But if I can hop on a phone call and make $5,000 in one go, holy fucking shit. You know what I mean? And the Zoom call the episode that has the Zoom call where I close a deal at $5,000 in a single pop. Wow, that's going to be a very cool Zoom call. It's going to be a very cool episode to have for the future. But anyway, I just don't want to have to worry about that shit. I don't care. And I think one of the most important things from all of what I'm saying right now, because I know it's all over the place, is the fact, like, the freedom of mind to not give a fuck is so great, to just not have to give a fuck, you know? Like, if I put a big hole in the wall, all good. And I can move the fuck on, rather than, oh fuck, there's a hole in the wall. Shit, I'm going to have to do this, otherwise I'm not going to get my $300 back. I have to go to the store and buy this shit, blah, blah, blah. And for the record, also, don't know shit about repairing holes in the wall. I'm sure it's simple. I'm sure I'm overcomplicating it. But for the sake of this example, hopefully you understand what I'm saying. But yeah, going back to what I was initially saying, moved my shit around, and I like it. I like it a lot. So I'm going to see how it goes tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a first official work day in this new setup. But yeah, I've got more access to more important things right now. Only downside is my corner desk horseshit has all my, paper, pens, notebooks, electronics, like all my stuff. And I would actually use that quite often, but now it's in a completely other room. So that's a problem, I guess. But also had a Zoom call with Mina's team today, and I did that from my car because that was right after I was with my dad. So it was very short, didn't record anything on my phone in my car. Oh, you know what? This is actually worth sharing. So I told Dawson and Mina today, hey, let's just roll shit out. I'll worry about connecting the dots later, and I'll just handle that monster later, because it's just going to be a while before I feel like this is ever ready to go, because this thing has just grown into such a big thing, and I don't know when it'll be ready. I don't know. So rather than having you wait for me and bottleneck what you got going on, I'm just going to roll it out, connect it later. We'll go from there. So they were both very receptive. They seemed both very like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And so cool. It's a good feeling to know that we're all on the same page. What's ironic, I was about to say funny. It's nothing funny about this. What's ironic though, is that the right word? Just coincidental. I recorded a big long voice memo for Dawson. I think I already said this actually. And within 5 seconds of me finishing that up and sending it off, get a call from my dad, and that's when everything started. And so, just knowing me, if my dad would have called me in the middle of me recording a voice note, I probably would have kind of gotten irritated, declined the call, restarted the voice note, and then kept going. And who knows? Maybe I wouldn't have had any idea that my dad was going through this. Wouldn't have had any idea what my grandpa, that he might be passing away tonight. And I think that would have eaten me alive if I would have declined the call, then found out maybe tomorrow, grandpa passed away, because I was too selfish and too irritable to answer the phone call from my dad. I missed an opportunity to say goodbye to someone forever. I think that would have eaten me alive. Not super, horrifically and tragic, whatever, but I do think that would have really been something I think about for a while. And who knows? Like, you just never know. We'll never know the alternative. We'll never know what if. We'll just never know. So I don't know. And so the more times that people call me, I'm like, you know what? I need to answer this. You never know. Like, so there's certain people that I will never not answer the phone. I'll say this. I'll never ignore a phone call from certain people in my life. There's plenty of people who call me and I'm like, fuck, I forgot. I didn't see. It was on mute, whatever. Sorry, Lexi. She just, for the record, seems like she calls me when I'm on Do Not Disturb, and then minutes later, I look at my phone. I'm like, God damn it, my bad. And I call her back. I'm like, hey, what's up? Sorry. But yeah, certain people, I will never ignore a call. I will never not answer a call. I will never knowingly not answer a call. It's a better way to put it. Because you just never know. So anyway.
Hey, Chris.
Sorry. I also bought I almost said Crystal. I bought the Alex Hormozi $100 Million Offers summary and workbook, and it's different than what I thought it was going to be, but I'm still going to go through it for sure and see what it has in store. It's the same exact thing as $100 Million Offers. It's just a workbook and a summary, so it's a little bit quicker to the point without the stories and things like that. It's got the workbook aspect, so I can do some exercises. So I'm really excited about it. But I got that in the mail. Book's all warped to hell, probably from the heat. All good. But yeah. So needless to say, today was an eventful one. And I'm congested as fuck again. What's going on? Also, I am sitting... So in my office now, my old bedroom, the airflow is shit, but I'm seated right by the vent, and it actually feels nice where I'm sitting. So that's exciting. I was worried that I was going to get too hot in here, but I think I'd rather increase the quality of my sleep, even if by 1 to 5%. I don't know, but anyway. Also, for the record books, there were 2 episodes technically uploaded today already. This would be the 3rd one that I'm going to be writing about. Upload whatever. The reason for that is because I didn't upload one yesterday, and because I didn't schedule one for today, yesterday, I uploaded both today. So it was 6:47 and 6:46, and I did not miss a day. I did not skip any days. Recorded a show and on the correct days, but I didn't want to have to worry about uploading it or getting my laptop or whatever, because one day I was flying in the morning on a plane, and then you just didn't want to worry about it. So let the record state that the streak goes on. I'm fine. I have not missed a day. Also want to say that if that were true, then I would have failed, the first 100 episodes, because I only uploaded 5 a week, and then I bulk uploaded like 20 episodes for like 3 days straight. So yeah, I can, as long as I record one, they don't have to be uploaded. I don't give a fuck about that. It's documentation. Like I've said, doesn't matter if anybody hears it or not. It's not meant to be heard for years, but anyway, that's it, guys. I know this is a long one. It's probably the longest show that I've done without it being, including a Zoom call, and to reach a length of 52 minutes. But there's a lot to share. And every time I have a long episode like this, I always think back to when I said, yeah, they're all going to be 30 seconds to a minute, because that way you can listen to a full, 2 months of my life in an hour of podcast. But, yeah, okay. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. I really appreciate listening. All the support goes a long way. And if you haven't already, please rate the show. I've got 16 5-star reviews. It'd be cool to see that stay 20. So let's get it to 20. That'd be very cool. Anyway, guys, thanks again. Peace.